People Playground was released in 2019 and usurped Mutated All 2's place as the go-to 2D Ragdoll Sandbox game. At the time of release of this video, the game boasts around at least 3,500 active players at any given time of day. Since its release, at least 2 other games have attempted to achieve something akin to what PPG has, but neither have gotten close, and one of them was Action Sandbox. Unlike the other game, Regular Human Workshop, Action Sandbox tries to be fairly different from People Playground, while of course adopting the same concept. Unlike other games from this genre, where you've got 1 or maybe 2 types of ragdolls, in Action Sandbox, you've got a whole bunch of them. But what's the difference? Aren't they basically just reskins of the same character? Technically, yes. But also, no, because each character has their own unique abilities. This guy, his unique ability is walking. But not anymore. This guy's unique ability, besides being able to tolerate somebody's hair in his face, Naruto running. But not anymore. This guy's ability to teleport behind you and yet somehow manage to still keep it completely professional. Kid, Iron Man can fly, shoot energy blast out of his hands, but most amazingly do not be affected by gravity unless if specifically required for a shot. So that means it fit right in with the Looney Tunes. Now all they need to do is give him a nemesis like the evil Wrinkled shirt. Or something. I don't know. There's also the Incredible Hulk, who keeps respawning his shirt after going full Hulk mode. This is me going green with envy whenever I see someone having $1 million to blow it on a token that denotes ownership of a portable network graphic of a monkey smoking a cigar. And this is me putting my shirt and tie back on now that I've realized that I can convince them to buy something that took me 2 minutes to draw on Microsoft Paint. Please, mister. He needs a home and I need $500,000. There's another version of the default human, and I'd say that he too can't walk anymore, but this guy can regrow his limbs. We've also got the Terminator up in this beat, and finally a weird looking stick man. Oh, what's that, Terminator? Guys, the Terminator just called him Skin and Bones. He's not violent, he just terms things. Yeah, he's that kind of Terminator. All of the ragdolls that I've just shown you can be directly controlled by you, not just by dragging them around, but by using your keyboard. And you can control them individually, or of course, all of them together. Guys, I swear I didn't do this on purpose. I guess Skin and Bones is totally Terminator's type then, huh? Surprise flash mob time! Okay guys, woohoo! Good job everyone. Much better than last time when we got in trouble with the police when we did the flash mob, but without the dancing part. Besides ragdolls, we've also got some vehicles in here like a catapult, a hoverboard, a motorcycle. I love how the ragdoll is programmed to automatically sit on it. Some additional vehicles, including a SWAT van from which you can spawn an unlimited number of cops. In Russia, police call you to request assistance with crowd control. Be a dear and please assist local enforcement officer. There's also a tank. Yeah, it's not a very stable tank, I guess. Now let's check out the NPCs. Why exactly does this guy have a laser coming out of his PP? I'm guessing he has really bad aim, but not anymore, apparently. Here's a zombie. It's right to call them non-player characters because these zombies are definitely not playing around. The NPCs have a mind of their own and will walk around attacking anyone or anything that ends up in their target area. This NPC pukes on ragdolls and then they turn into these weird abominations. This is why you gotta check the reviews before ordering from a new restaurant. Poor guy. Can't even puke on people normally without worrying about turning them into abominations. Gotta feel for this guy. Then there's this guy whom you shouldn't judge based on his looks because he's completely harmless. His special ability? Pretending to be a 55-year-old dad with a beer belly awaiting the burgers to get properly grilled at his barbecue party. Bro, have some patience. He's so hungry that he's eating the air. It's unsafe to eat raw air. You have to use like an air fryer first. Now let's check out weapons. So there's mainly ones like this discount lightsaber, this chainsaw, this mousetrap. Wow, they have rather gigantic mice in this game. A frozen explosive spear. or when Elsa really doesn't want to let it go, Thor's hammer, a torch, and a rocket-powered punch glove. I like how the ragdolls can grab weapons even after they're dead. In ranged weapons we have a bazooka, a bubble gun, or when you're pretending to have fun with someone but you actually wanted to give them a bath. Absolutely helps to transport Stinkum McTinkle like 50 feet away from you too. A crossbow, the devil himself, and electric gun. The range on this thing is absolutely insane. A gun with ammunition which gets activated with a laser. A freeze gun, a gravity gun, more like a gravity gun, am I right? A giant machine gun and a giant laser gun. In explosives we've got this thing, a landmine which ironically makes stuff take off. And finally, a laser pizza cutter. Now let's move on to props, which include tiles. Look, I made a cute little house for my ragdoll. Actually, please stop looking at it now. You're making it nervous. Blocks of fire, space, and water which you can club together. And as usual, Stinkum McDinkus really hates bathing. Props also include a straight up building. Don't you hate it when you build a building but then forget to add stairs? Now why should he worry about getting himself to the upper floors of his own house when he can get the floors down to him instead? He is absolutely shocked that he didn't think of such an obvious solution himself sooner. There's pretty fireworks. There's a whole bunch of heads in here as well. Weird, but hey, at least it's not feet. It was surprisingly easy to replace my ragdoll's head with one of these. You can also add multiple heads to your ragdolls. This guy? Oh, you'll never see him coming. But you will see him headed towards you. There's also a parachute in this game. This is taking too long. You know what? I'm just gonna close it. Much better. Saves me from having to mutilate him later anyway. A ramp, a reclining chair. Hey, don't laugh at him. In his company, this is how the board of directors decide who the next chairman is going to be. Now let's check out the backgrounds. There's 9 of them and you simply drag and drop them onto the play area and instantly got a beautiful collage that sprawls the entire map. There's also fun. These are apparently little scenarios like Minecraft? The movement keys don't work on Minecraft Steve right here, so the only way to move him forward is by harnessing the power of Tornado. A game where you press the right buttons or die. A basketball court. Kobe. You know what, guys? Actually, I was playing football all along. The goal was always right here, okay? I did not just add that in my video editor. Please stop leaving such comments. Boxing. He's going for the below the belt technique. This is what they call the tornado. Sit, I broke the game. And this is what they call the Dust Devil. Oh, look at him go. So cute. And the last one is YouTube. Press the corresponding buttons and they just keep doing this. I feel like this is much ado about nothing. Next, there's scenes, which are basically more deadly versions of their fun scenarios. They include boxing, but this time it's the main event. I'm controlling this guy. I call this the milk the cow technique. He's distracted by hitting the invisible board instead of me. Busy with the cow, then hit him with the pow. There's this bit of lava to get across, but I can't figure out how. On an unrelated note, this guy has a weird attraction towards stalactites. There's this game where you have to dock your spaceship. There's this one where you have to kill zombies. This one where you have to escape a room while successfully shooting targets. A hand car race. Come on, come on, come on. I won anyway. AI is still going. Dude, stop, you already lost. AI? You good, bro? I can't tell if they still think they're in the race or if they're just fighting for this thing here. A police confrontation. Getting over it with Jazef Gaming. Greetings. I'm Jazef Gaming, the creator of this. Bro, what the fuck is this shit? This isn't how you're supposed to play my game. Dude, stop. Help somebody stop this madman. How is he beating the game like this? Dude, no, you can't. You can't. This one where you have to get across these random pistons which activate randomly. A rope swing. Oops, we seem to have lost momentum. Well, this is awkward. Just two buddies hanging around on this. Shut up. Okay. And finally, a zombie escape. You idiot, you were supposed to give me the gun, you threw it to the zombie. How are we going to survive the zombie apocalypse now? Huh? Timothy, tell me, Timothy. I'm gonna punch you in the face. I got your nose. Got your nose. Got your nose. Hang on right there, babe. I'm gonna get the gun from the zombie. Hey, zombie, bro. Can I have my gun back? Give it. Give it. You don't know how to use it, man. Just give it to me. Give it. Give it. Give it. Help. 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 Timothy, he's not giving me the gun, Timothy. Call the manager. Timothy, call the manager right now. Oh, sit. Now the thing is, even with all that I've shown you guys, I've only scratched this game's surface. Now let's delve deeper into it and I'll show you guys exactly why I think that this game is the most underrated 2D RSG to exist till date. So the moment you press the tab key is the moment that a whole new world of possibilities opens up for you in this game, because the editor, it's like this game's bonnet. Under construction resource, we have a whole bunch of tools in customizable colors which you can use to create all sorts of contraptions. I've played Ragdoll Sandbox Game for years. No game, with the exception of Gary's mod and this, has actually made me feel like constructing something in it. It's so easy and intuitive. Hey, I said it was easy to make. I didn't say it would be easy to operate. This man is clearly not intelligent nor skilled enough to own or operate a Jazz Model 1. It's all his fault. You can also import PNGs, rotate them, resize them. You can change what element an item is made of. You can make it super heavy, super bouncy, change the size of individual body parts, pose ragdolls into weird shapes. You can use the puzzle tool to carve shapes or to carve intricacies into these giant rectangles that you spawn in. There's more tiles which you can use to draw a background or create a cave system of sorts. You can make your ragdoll say whatever you want on a loop for all eternity. This is what my thoughts sound like 24/7. You can also add a speech bubble to the fella so that even our deaf viewers can experience firsthand what eternal torment looks like. You can add hair to your ragdoll and you can choose how small or big it will be. This guy doesn't have keratin, he has keratungsten. There's also a force direction gizmo which forces an object into a particular direction every time you push a button. I attached one to the back as well. Oh shit, it's flying. DOGG is going to the MONN. Actually that spells as Mon. Shut up. Grammar was never my forte. Okay, you can program your ragdoll to look at your cursor and make him act like James Bond without even touching him. James, you know that the embassy is like 5 kilometers away, right? You could like take a taxi there and then enter spy mode. No? Traveling like this all the way till there then? Okay then, you can program ragdolls to climb, fight, and mutate. You can even create custom animations in this game. Turn it into a lifeless ragdoll, give it artificial intelligence so that it will control itself. Dude, AI is getting way too intelligent. Under construction, you've got regular rigid and loose joints, invisible pins, wheels. As you see, you can turn anything into a wheel. Not that you should do everything that you can. However, pistons. You can turn anything into a piston. Jeez, get a room, you guys. Yeah. By using the flight tab, you can turn anything into a thruster. This little piggy went to the market. He wanted to buy Martian artifacts. In the weapons tab, you can program anything to spawn, well, anything. I programmed this guy to spawn this guy's heads. God. Help. Help, piggy. Help us. You can turn anything into an explosive, like this chicken. Hopefully Pinku never sees this. You can program anything to shoot out lasers. Make something emit particles. Or in this case it's more like particles, am I right? Any sort of particles. The unicorns were too shy to appear on video. Make ragdolls emit liquids. Okay, who's cutting the onions right now? Cut some for me too. I'll make a salad. You can make random objects really sharp, like this duck. This guy needs butt reduction surgery. Oh shit, guys. I think this little fella might just be a quack. You can add subtitles to the game. You can turn anything into a light. That's quite a headlight, isn't it? Oh, he didn't like my pun. He turned his headlight off. That is why you should never turn off your headlights at night. You can add text to stuff. You can add a camera onto an object to focus onto it. You can change the size and color of the map while the game is still running. Can a car fit in here as well? Well, yes, technically. Under the automation tab, we have all sorts of activation signals, triggers, buttons, detectors, logic gates, and even a counter. In case you've made a mess of things, you can always press the replay button to make things right again. I wish I had this in real life. Then I wouldn't have to cry over spilt milk. I just replay that part where I tipped over the bowl. Saves me from having to mop up the milk and then squeeze it into the bowl again. And finally, there's the handbook, which gives you video tutorials on how to do pretty much everything in this game, making it extremely handy for those new to Ragdoll Sandbox games, younger players, and even dumbasses like me. The handbook showed me how to set a guy on fire without really setting him on fire, how to replace body parts with PNGs, how to make your ragdoll into literally anything, how to make the biggest of boys, how to create limbs for the disabled, how to make a gun that fires out humans. So basically, women in the Middle Ages, how to make a portal, how to turn a GIF into a fully controllable character with a tentacle. Another thing that I wanted to show you all about this game was the Halloween update. It was released on the 3rd of June 2022, a little over a month after release. And I wonder why not everything in this update is even related to Halloween, but it still has the tag on it. I was able to make my own orchestra using these characters. I mean, better that they attack each other before the audience decides to attack them. Even if you look at the Steam reviews, you'll see a few people saying how it's more creative than People Playground. While I myself have not explored the depths of creativity that you can reach in People Playground, I too have felt the same. But I think it's just that it might be tremendously easier to be creative in this game compared to its competitors. I think overall the reason this game doesn't have as many active players is because players don't always come to these games to be creative itself. Like me, I mean, this is the limits of my creativity. What do you want from me? They also come to experience the creativity of other players. And with that being said, there is simply no competing with People Playground in that regard. People Playground improved upon its predecessor, Mutated All 2. Action Sandbox, in my opinion, also improved upon People Playground. But I don't think that improvement was significant enough to trigger a massive shift of players from one game to the other. And as a result, Action Sandbox was unfortunately unable to disrupt the market and gain a significant player base. This game may have tons of ragdolls, NPCs, etc., but one lone developer cannot compete against a massive library of user-generated content. Anyway, this is just my opinion and I might be entirely wrong about this. It's still a really good game and worthy of your time. However, amongst all the ragdoll games that I've reviewed till now, this seems to be my favorite. Of course, Mad 2 will always have a special place in my heart. Anyway, I would certainly recommend this game. Have you ever thought about playing such a game with a friend but were unable to? Well, Steam Remote Play works for this game. You guys can control 2 separate ragdolls, I guess. So that was it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Click here to check out my reviews for other ragdoll games in this genre, and goodbye.